Hello, in this video we're going to be going through my ratio and proportion knowledge test 1 for higher tier. So these knowledge tests are all available to download on my website, so I'll link that in the description box, but otherwise let's just get started. So this first question here, it's a non-calculator question. It says a company produces silver and gold medals in the ratio 7:4. There are 36 more silver medals than gold medals, and we need to work out how many medals are produced altogether. So what I'm going to do is write out the ratio of silver to gold, and that is 7:4. So there's 36 more silver than gold. So that tells us that the difference between silver and gold must be 36. So the difference is equivalent to 36. Now the difference between 7 and 4 is 3. So that means that 3 is proportional to 36. So to get from 3 to 36, I times by 12. So I'm going to times both of these by 12. So 7 times 12, that's 84, and 4 times 12 is 48. So we have 84 silver and 48 gold. So I'm going to do 84 plus 48. So that's 132. So the answer to this question is 132. This next question here is a best buys question. So two supermarkets sell the same washing powder. We have supermarket A and supermarket B. We need to figure out which supermarket gives the better value. So for supermarket A, if we consider you get 2.4 kilograms, 25% off the normal price, which is £8.80. So we first need to work out the price. So if the normal price is £8.80, we need to work out what 25% of £8.80 is. And 25% we can just simply divide by 4 because it's 1/4. So £8.80 divided by 4 is £2.20. So it means we're getting £2.20 off the normal price. So we're getting 2.4 kilograms, and the cost of 2.4 kilograms is going to be £2.20 off of £8.80. So that's going to be £6.60. So I could work out what 1 kilogram costs by dividing both sides by 2.4. So if 2.4 kilograms is £6.60, then 1 kilogram, I do £6.60 divided by 2.4. So that's going to give me £2.75. So it's £2.75 per kilogram from supermarket A. So if I now consider supermarket B, I get 2.4 kilograms plus 20% extra free. So that means we don't just get 2.4 kilograms, we get 2.4 kilograms plus 20% for no extra cost. So again, I need to work out 20% of 2.4 this time. So that's going to be 0.48. So I get 0.48 kilograms completely free. So what I'm actually getting is I'm getting 2.88 kilograms if I add the 0.48 onto the 2.4 kilograms. But the cost is still going to be £8.80. So again, if I work out the price per kilogram by dividing by £2.88 or 2.88, it's not £2.88. So 1 kilogram is going to be £8.80 divided by 2.88. And if I work that out, I end up with 3.06. So in supermarket A, 1 kilogram costs £2.75, and in supermarket B, 1 kilogram costs £3.06. So the cheaper one is going to be supermarket A, so that's where you should go. This next question here is units and conversion. So we're converting 2.4 squared meters into centimeters squared, or squared centimeters. So I know that there are 100 centimeters in 1 meter. So what I can do is I can square both sides to work out the conversion for squared centimeters and squared meters. So if I square both sides, I end up with 10,000 squared centimeters, and that's equal to 1 squared meter. So if I'm working out 2.4 squared meters, I need to times both sides by 2.4. So 2.4 times 10,000 is going to be 24,000. So the answer to this question is 24,000 squared centimeters. This next question here is a speed, distance, time question. So it says Emily leaves for the seaside at 9:20. She drives 72 miles at an average speed of 48 miles per hour. What time does she arrive at the seaside? So we're going to need the triangle, the speed, distance, time triangle. So we have speed is distance over time. So we know the distance and we know the speed. So we can work out the time by doing distance divided by speed. So it's 72 miles at 48 miles per hour. So I'm going to divide by 48 to work out the number of hours it took. So it's going to be 72 divided by 48, which is 1.5 hours. So 1.5 hours is going to be 1 hour and 30 minutes. So if she left at 9:20, she's going to get there 1 hour and 30 minutes later. So she's going to get there at 10:50. So the answer to this question is 10:50. This next question here is density, mass, volume. So the density of liquid A is 1.12 grams per cubic centimetre and the density of liquid B is 0.88 grams per cubic centimetre. We're given 75 litres of A are mixed with 125 litres of liquid B, and we need to work out the density of the new mixture. So what I'm going to do for this question is I'm going to draw out a table to help summarise the data that we have. So we have two liquids are added together. So we have liquid A and we have liquid B, and they're added together to make a new liquid. I'm just going to call it C. So we have the new liquid, which I'm calling C, and we have density, we have mass, and we have volume. So the formula for density is mass over volume. So we can use the triangle, density is mass over volume. So we know the density of liquid A is 1.12, and so I'm going to put that here. The density of liquid B is 0.88, so I'm going to put that here. It says 75 litres of A are mixed with 125 litres of B. So that means the volume of A is 75, the volume of B is 125, which means the total volume of our new liquid, liquid C, is going to be 200 litres. So it's important to note here that 1 litre is equal to 1,000 cubic centimetres. So because we're working out the density in grams per cubic centimetre, it's important to make sure that the volume is in cubic centimetres. So we have 200 litres, so that's actually 200 times 1,000, which is 200,000 centimetres cubed. So I'm just going to put in brackets 200,000 centimetres cubed. Now we can work out the mass of liquid A and liquid B, but again, because the density is given in grams per cubic centimetres, the volume needs to be in cubic centimetres. So I'm actually going to cross out this and turn it into 75,000 centimetres cubed for this one, and I'm going to turn it into 125,000 centimetres cubed for this one. So then to work out the mass of each of them, I'm going to do density times volume. So I'm going to do 1.12 times 75,000. So 75,000 times 1.12 is going to give me 84,000. And then the other one, 0.88 times 125,000 is going to be 110,000. So the total mass of the two liquids is going to be 84,000 plus 110,000, which is 194,000. So that's the total mass. We've got the total volume. So to work out the density of the new liquid, we're going to do the mass divided by the volume. So we're going to do 194,000 divided by 200,000. And if I work that out, I end up with 0.97. So the answer to this question is 0.97. This next question here is force pressure area. So the triangle for force pressure area is pressure equals force over area. So it says a wooden crate exerts a force of 540 newtons and the area of the base is 3 squared meters. We need to work out the pressure. So to work out the pressure, we're going to do 540, which is the force, divided by the area, which is 3. And if I work that out, I end up with 180. So the answer to this question is 180 newtons per squared meter. This next question here is an inverse proportion problem. So it says a factory has 20 identical machines available and it knows that 8 machines takes 35 hours to complete an order. We need to show that the factory can complete the order in less than 15 hours. So if we know that 8 machines, so I'll say 8m equals 35 hours, we could work out the time taken by one machine. So one machine, if it takes 8 machines 35 hours, it's going to take one machine 8 times as long. So 35 times 8. So what I'm going to do is 35 times 8, and if I work that out, I get 280 hours. So that tells me one machine could do it in 280 hours. So if we had 20 machines, I'm going to divide by 20. So 280 divided by 20 is going to be 14. So 14 hours is clearly less than 15 hours. So we've done the job. This next question here is direct and inverse proportion. So it says P is directly proportional to the square of Q. When Q is 3, P is 54. So we need to find an equation of P in terms of Q. So we know that it's direct proportion. So it's P equals K. And because it's the square of Q, it's going to be KQ squared. Now I'm going to sub in the values that we have. So when Q is 3, P is 54. So 54 equals K times 3 squared. So that's K times 9 equals 54. So that tells us that K is going to be 54 divided by 9, which is 6. So plugging it back in, we have P equals 6Q squared. And that is the equation of P in terms of Q. The next one, we're trying to find the positive value of Q when P is 150. So we simply sub 150 into our equation. So we have 150 equals 6Q squared. If I divide both sides by 6, we end up with 25 equals Q squared. Now Q is the square root of 25, which is technically plus or minus 5, but because it wants the positive value, I'm just going to put down the positive value, which is 5. So that's why it says the positive value there. So that's the answer to that question. That was actually the last question on ratio and proportion for this knowledge test, so that's actually quite a short one. It's not the biggest unit in the world, but yeah, I hope you found that useful. Any areas of difficulty, feel free to go on my website, on my revision hub, to revise those areas. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in another video. Bye.